Talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Where are we going?
You are coming to take
Kidnapping.
a judicial and a bar complaint.
Oh, okay.
Because I have no one.
I can't take bar complaints against Mitch or Atwater.
No, it's the bar complaint is me pushing a bar complaint against Mr. Brady McCross.
Okay.
The judicial complaint.
Give me 1 second, sorry.
All right.
Okay, go.
All right. Which one do you want? Do you even handle judicial complaints, Tom?
Anything to do with the bar or potential bar complaint, then yes, 100%.
All
and
right.
seeing as
So
you all have bars, it would come to your ethics of your bar rather than your duty as a judge. Your duty as a judge in judicial would have to go through whoever the CJ is or the, head of the Department of Justice. But if it's based on ethics and based on the way they act, then yeah, we can review it under the bar.
all right.
And if you get your bar revoked, you could lose your job.
Yeah. With the Brady complaint. This is me personally putting in a complaint against him. A couple days back on. I have to remember the specific day. I think Friday.
Was it the day you asked for my advice?
I'm trying to think. What day did Chad? What day was it? Where we had that
when you called me because you asked me for legal advice and I said I can't help you because because of Mitch.
Sub Sapphire. Let's call it Friday for now. It makes sense because Friday a lot of shit happens. So I think it's Friday. All right, I approached Brady in a legal capacity because I, at that point, was a bit skeptical about the legalities that could come back to me because the mayor had put me in his executive order. I had given him the full breakdown of what had happened.
Slow down. Repeat that part.
Which part?
You were worried about
any legal ramifications that could arise from what the mayor had issued in his executive order. And the actions taken by Ms. Schilling towards myself on that day. When you're ready for the next bit, just let me know.
Yeah, just keep on going. I'll tell you if you're too fast.
All right. I took Brady. We went into the back office in the courthouse. I then explained to him the full details of my situation regarding the mayor approaching me for executive orders, me going, that makes sense as per the Constitution, and then later finding out that it was me on it. I then further explained to him how I had woken up on the Friday and then was made aware by the mayor that he had made me Chief Justice in those orders. I then called Hank and told him everything. I laid it out in a sense of, I see the order went through by the council. What am I to do? Because I don't want to be afraid of losing my job at the time. Hank then, in essence, responded that, yes, we don't mind leaning into it, but it is definitely a situation of fuck around and find out. I then called Mercy as head of bar to find out. No, I didn't call her. She called me, and I told her in that moment I'm stressed because of this whole thing happening. I explained it to her, and again brought up I want to lean into it, but I don't want to lean into it to the point of it costing me my job. To which she responded, "This is not a threat. But do know if you take action based on that executive order, you could face corruption charges, accessory to corruption based on the actions of the mayor." Again, premising that it's not a threat, just her telling me this. Now, she could have meant it anyway. But the way she spoke to me in the moment, I perceived it as a threat. And I explained it to Brady as such. He then proceeded to say, "This just seems like everyone is swinging dick, and you should speak to Mercy. In fact, I'll go speak to Mercy." He leaves. Thank you for the follow. He goes to Mercy. I don't know how much he told Mercy of what's happening, but clearly enough for her to clarify her stance, because then she tells him that she called me on a separate case, to which I then went into me being stressed, and she didn't mean what she said as a threat, but rather guidance. He comes back to me still thinking, all right, this is going to be my lawyer for this situation, and tells me I'm being childish, I'm trying to swing my dick, and I should go apologize to Mercy for how I felt in that situation. Throwing everything back at me, and then after that saying, I will not be representing you, and left the office.
Okay, these are the like shorthand that I got. Tell him Vance, maybe Friday. I approached Brady in a legal capacity, worried about any legal ramifications on the mails that get to the border.
Sup,
And
Panda?
actions by
How you
Mr. Wing on
doing?
that day. Took Brady in the back. I've made it like that because I want it to sound like you took Brady in the back.
Yeah.
Explain the full event, the mayor approach, the fact that you, based on the Constitution, were okay with it. And then you woke the next day to find out that by the mayor that you are now the CJ. You then immediately phone Hank to lay it out, like, this is what happened. And you see that your order went through from the council. So what do? Hank responded, look, we don't mind, but it's a fuck around, find out. Mercy then spoke to you. She called you, and you explained, look, I'm stressed. I want to lean into it, but I don't want it to cost me my job. She said, it's not a threat, but you could get corruption, but it's not a threat. But the way you perceived it was as a threat. Then you tell Brady all of this. Brady says, hey, you all fucking dick swinging. Like, someone needs to just sit down and talk. Do you know what? I'm going to talk to Mercy. Leaves, goes talk to Mercy, because then you later get a phone call where she actually talking about another case, then clarifies what her meaning was regarding the
Wrong
threat
timeline.
not threat.
Wrong timeline.
Okay.
I'd called Hank and then immediately called Mercy, right? Brady.
No, so I got that part.
Yeah.
You said Brady went to go talk, and you said, I
And
don't
then he
know
came
how
back
much
to
he
me.
spoke to Mercy.
Yeah, then he came back.
But then
Mercy
you added
didn't
about
call
the
me.
Mercy phone call in the middle.
Yeah, Brady clarified that to me. Mercy didn't call me back.
Clarified. Sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
he
Brady
clarified that in person to me. I don't know if he went to her or made a phone call to her. He left the room and then came back later.
But then Brady comes back in and tells you, look, you're childish and you're swinging your dick. Go apologize to Mercy. I will not be representing you. And then he left. The thing of this is, during this whole entire time, you perceived Brady to be your lawyer. Was there any retainment made?
No. And I know...
Was there a verbal retainment made?
No. What was
made?
Was
there, Brady, will you be my lawyer?
That was... Brady, I need your help in a legal capacity. Would you be willing to listen so that you could potentially represent me? So there's no physical proof he actually took me as a client. The only bit of proof is by the end of all that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. If we go down a complaint part, I think contracts in a verbal sense should also be binding in some certain circumstances. Obviously, there should be. Sorry, one sec.
Woo wee wee woo wee woo wee woo wee woo.
Right. Yeah, I think a verbal contract in terms of retainment should be something that is viewed, because how many times do you go, whoa, let me write your contract?
Well, in the future, I'm just not going to be an idiot, and I'm going to tell any lawyer if I approach them that I'm formally requesting you as my legal counsel, whether you accept or decline, any information I'm about to give you will fall under client confidentiality. And if you break that, you could face legal action. Because that's fucking stupid. He shouldn't be
Or you
telling
just,
anybody what I told him.
I can draft up a like short paragraph and send it over to you if you want to, and then send it out to people afterwards.
Yeah, I think so.
At the end of the day, you're going after Brady for his ethical issues, right?
Yeah,
You
I
think
thought that very
it is
unethical.
unethical to go straight to the person that you have perceived threaten you, and then come back to you and go, "Well, you know what? You're a fucking dick, and I'm not going to represent you."
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a bit of it is him telling everything I told him to her, and then coming back with
potentially.
that. Yeah, and
Yeah,
allegedly, and then coming back
yeah.
to me with that attitude of he's not even gonna properly give me legal advice. He's just gonna go down the route of insulting and then pushing his narrative and leaving.
Okay, so when I'm going to give you a little spill now because it's not actually been as everything within this DOJ.
I mean,
Not
in
been.
all honesty, though, money
One-
doesn't need to be exchanged for
That's why we're saying a verbal.
confidentiality, because as long as
The
he
implied-
knows it's
The impliedness, yeah.
yeah, as long as he knows you're seeking legal advice, he's obligated to keep that.
So number one, any bar complaint that comes into me, I will keep your confidentiality about the person who raised the bar complaint completely separate because it's not a legal thing. It's not going. They don't have a right to face their accuser under the due process because they're not going to court, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's like a company internal bar, right? I will have to talk to Brady on this. Not saying that talent. It's just been brought to my attention. There's a please, can you talk to me about this? He may infer and he may believe and he may come to you. It will not be because I've told him it was you who raised it. Okay. But it's
I'm
going to be very
refusing.
hard for me not to.
No, I know.
Yeah.
He's gonna immediately know who it was and what it's
Yeah.
about. I don't care about that. I'm making it
Okay.
clear. I'm entertaining no further conversation with that man.
Okay. Fair
It
enough.
will not ever bias me in a case against him. I believe myself professional enough to be on that stand, and irrespective of who's in front of me. But outside of court, I'm prefacing that I want nothing to do with that man.
That's fair. Now, obviously, on the back of this, whatever happens, I can tell you that there's been action taken. I can't tell you what action would be taken if action is to be taken. Okay. I think anyway, it will be very evident being a judge because we'd have to let you know certain things as a judges.
That's fine.
But also, this is just me keeping my professional hat on. I don't know what action will be taken, and I don't know what Brady's side of the story will see and what the end result. If what you're saying is true, it would likely be like a day suspension or couple, which generally would have to take a look at what Brady does and how it affects Brady because a day suspension doesn't really matter to him. So we might make it a little bit longer just because it fits the person rather than the narrative, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. And look, I already know what he's gonna swing on this, and you don't have to put it in there. This is just me. He's gonna play the argument because I know lawyers, and I know they like playing legalities. Even you do it, Tom. I know you would.
I do it lots, yeah.
He's just gonna argue that he has no proof that ever happened, or that we had a binding deal. I know this. But I am bringing it to the bar. I'm taking the appropriate steps instead of being a dick.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you actually, someone coming to the bar and saying, hey, I got a fucking issue. I want to make a bar complaint. I appreciate that with all the things that are happening in the city, still allowing me to